So, today is Romasanta, book 2 of the Cedric series, and I wanted to talk about a character that is sort of Romasanta's right-hand man, right? Nyctimus. And the interesting thing about Nyctimus is that he was indeed really a historical figure. Nyctimus, a Lykoan, is part of some mythology, some legends, and some historical aspects. But there's very little to pick at. But what I found it interesting is that he's always portrayed sort of as like a priestly or almost borderline shaman or clergyman kind of vibe. There's some Nordic crossover because he's also said to endure his grandfather's curse, which is Boreas, who is the guy who originally fed his son to the gods and was cursed with to be dog-headed men, right? But that would make Nyctimus the grandson, which means it was his father that his grandfather killed. Now, historically, there was a lot of warring tribes, and there's a good chance that his grandfather did away with him because of this. Now, granted, in the Cedric series, Nyctimus has more fantastical ties, right? But I wanted to share this snippet because this is where Romasanta first comes across Nyctimus. And you've already heard me read some excerpts where Nyctimus is involved. He's sort of portrayed throughout, especially more our current times kind of scenes, as a very well-cut, clean guy with glasses. He's very put together, and then people make fun of him because, you know, he does technically live in a tower full of half succubus women that he's taken in. It's sort of like a refuge, but there's history there. So, but anyhow, this is from Romasanta, Father of Werewolves. This is book 2 in the Cedric series, and this is where they first meet. The ground had grown rockier as they came upon the edge of the forest and the beginning of a mountain. There, chained to a great boulder, a man huddled naked beside it. His body was branded and marked, the scars deep and permanent. Romasanta examined the symbols on the man's bare skin. He bore the signs of a Lykoan, a priest, and a blood relative to Boreas. As Romasanta squatted before the chained man, the man did not raise his head or show signs of acknowledging their presence. Unlike the other Lykoans, he was not half man, half wolf, but he held a bloodline carrying similar magic. The scent of the magic seemed strange, lacking the robust signs of ever being used. Can you not burn the chains from your hands? Rubbing his nose, Romasanta waited as the man sighed. Are you not the son of Arcas, grandson of King Boreas, one of the magic-wielding Lykoans? I am a priest. We are not tamers of fire. Looking up through his sweat and blood-soaked hair, he glared one rebellious hazel eye at Romasanta. And I would hardly consider myself the son of Arcas, seeing that my father has left me here by order of my grandfather Boreas. Why have you not turned skin like the rest? Eyeing the tracks on the ground, he saw a mixture of human and wolf-like prints. Are these not your tracks? You are no ordinary woodsman. He stood, his arms wrapped in the chains, coming into view as he staggered to keep his balance. If you free me, I am yours. I will serve you for the rest of my life. So be it. It took several swings of the sword before a link of the chain broke. The leash unraveled from its prisoner, and he rubbed the rips they had left on his skin. He was not the height of Romasanta, but he was broad and heavily muscled. For a priest, he was built more like a brute. He arched, stretching himself out and bellowing long and loud. reverberated off the mountains as he huffed, relieving himself of his frustrations. Turning his hazel eyes to Romasanta, he kneeled before him, eager to express his gratitude. Looking over Nyctimus, he and Fenrir weighed their thoughts on this Lykoan offspring. His magic was dormant. Whether he knew this or not was not a concern. What intrigued them was the fact he was like them, a man by day, a wolf by night. This was the first time he had witnessed the scent of it. It was yet to be seen in this priest. Lycans carried magic in their souls, and when touched by their curse, whether by fang or claw, they fell into a permanent state of dog-like men. As for those Fenrir had spared, despite wounding them, they would turn into monstrous wolves at the peak of the full moon. Then again, it was uncertain if this was the beginning of a slower process, which they had not seen its cycle finished. Time would be needed to see what stain they had left by letting this go unchecked. The man before them seemed capable of turning if he willed for it to come. Whether magic was an element was hard to say. Romasanta and Fenrir had much to learn about their own curse and how it worked on others. It spared no one who came to harm by tooth or nail. The way it reacted differently to each man and woman was puzzling. I ask one favor of you, Nyctimus's hazel eyes stared into Romasanta's own as he spoke his wish to his new master. Like you, I wish to wipe the Lycans from this earth. Please, let me be the tool for your purpose. That is the right-hand man of Romasanta. So he's just as vengeful as he is. But he's a fun character. He's very serious and very calculating. And then he gets a little, his feathers ruffled anytime people want to talk about his personal life or something more personal to him. But he makes for a nice tether, so to speak, to Romasanta's humanity, right? And it's strange because even though they are so much alike with the way the curse works on both of them, Nyctimus handles it so much better than Romasanta. And I think that says a lot about who they are and the importance of them eventually just always being beside each other and best friends throughout the series. So that's a little bit from book 2. Enjoy.